The following is a production of CUtV Sports.
The weather may be cold outside here in the Mon Valley, but action in the PSAC West is heating up as the California Vulcans welcome the 20th ranked Crimson Hawks of Indiana University of Pennsylvania. And hello everybody, alongside Allison Steinheiser, I am Creighton Ramps. We are delighted to have you with us for game number 16 of the Vulcan season. Allison, you want to talk about a gut check win? That's what the Vulcans had on Wednesday night.
Big win against East Stroudsburg, 72-63. Richard Smith, he's been great for the Vulcans this year. Another double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds.
And that was against the defending PSAC champions in East Stroudsburg. Meanwhile, the Crimson Hawks had a rather dominating performance of their own Wednesday night.
Yes, they did 84-62 over the Cheney Whoops. Brandon Northfleet, 19 points. He transferred from Cheney, so kind of getting some revenge against his ex-team there.
And Devontae Chance double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds as well for the Crimson Hawks, boosted them as well. The last time these two teams met was on this court last February. It did not turn out too well for the Vulcans.
It was not pretty, 85-47 in favor of IUP. IUP had 44 rebounds, dominating the boards against California, and also all 5 of the starters had double digits in that game. So California looking to avenge that loss from last year.
It's the worst margin of defeat in Bill Brown's 19 years as head coach, but the Vulcans will look to rebound. Let's take a look now at some players to watch. Allison, you alluded to Tony Richardson, the outstanding young freshman from Virginia.
Yeah, Tony Richardson averaging 8.1 points per game. Also one of the top freshmen in the conference. He's been freshman of the week several times for California. They're going to need him to be big today.
And for IUP, we alluded to him moments ago, a name familiar to Vulcans fans, but because of his father.
Yeah, Brandon Northfleet, his father played here. He was transferring from Cheney, was debating between here and IUP, decided to sign with the Crimson Hawks. So he's going to definitely look to put some points up against California today and help the Crimson Hawks defeat their biggest rival in California.
Well, as the Vulcans continue on their stretch of 5 very difficult games, can they knock off the nationally ranked Crimson Hawks? When we return, Alice and I will have all the coverage right here on CUtV Sports.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center on the campus of California University. The Vulcans, the 11-4 Vulcans, taking on the 20th ranked Crimson Hawks of Indiana University of Pennsylvania, as the starters are being introduced here on the court. And let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Allison, on paper, you know, it looks like a one-sided matchup.
Yeah, I mean, points per game is pretty evenly matched. Field goal percentage, IUP definitely has the advantage. 3-point percentage, same thing. Same thing with free throws. Now, California's had a lot of free throws in recent games, so they're going to need to take advantage of that If they can shoot around 75, 80% on from the free throw line, they could compete very, very well against this IUP team.
And while we have a chance here, it's the starting lineups for California. Drew Cook, the sophomore out of Beaver Falls. Khalil Jaby, the junior out of Alexandria, Virginia. And we're going to see Armin Marks getting a rare start. He's usually the sixth man off the bench. Senior out of Louisville, Kentucky, in place of the injured Jake Jakubek. Richard Smith, the junior out of Cleveland, will be starting a 1-forward spot. And a new addition to the California roster at the start of the semester, Calvin Brown. He's a junior out of Trevose, Ben Salem High School, transferred in from Cheney. Sat out the first semester, but now on the roster for the California Vulcans. And for IUP, it will be Devontae Chance, a senior out of Philadelphia. Jeremy Jeffers, a senior out of North Carolina. Sean Dyer, a senior from Marion, Ohio, transferred in from West Liberty. Brandon Norfleet, the junior out of Virginia Beach. And Daddy Wibede, he's a junior from the San Francisco Bay Area, transferred in from Drake. There you see Vulcans head coach Bill Brown in his 19th year as head coach of the Vulcans. It's 355 and 180 all-time here in the Mon Valley. And on the other side, you see the Joe Lombardi in his 9th season. He's 186 wins, 72 losses. Native of Mercer County, went to Youngstown State. We're about to tip it off. Gregory Tolson, your lead referee, will jump it up. Todd Galupe and Paul Skirch, the assistant officials, and we are underway. California will control it. IUP will control it. You know, both teams wearing red and black. It takes a moment to get everything connected, but nonetheless, we're underway here at the Convocation Center. Here is Chance. Inside to Daddy. No good. Rebound is controlled by Calvin Brown.
California's going to need to take advantage of this. They want to get out to an early lead.
Guess one of the top teams in the country. Saw that last year at the KCAC, almost a year ago this weekend, where the Vulcans pulled off a huge upset over these Crimson Hawks. Deep two by Richard Smith is good, and just like that, 2-0 California.
And Richard Smith's a player that California is going to need a lot of points from. He can put up the points from pretty much anywhere on the court.
Now it'll be Norfleet will control. He'll try to drive the lane, but he gets a roadblock inside to, what a rejection by Richard Smith on Wibede, and Daddy Wibede ties it up. Here's Javi inside the Brown. There's an offensive foul, it looks like. We'll wait and see what the call is.
Believe it is going to be a charge, but I'm not sure. The officials are discussing right now.
You know, we say this a lot. Charges and blocks are the most difficult calls in basketball, regardless of the level, and it looks like it is going to be a foul on Brandon Norfleet. So that'll be his first, team's first of the game. Javi will inbound to Brown. Now Jaby. Norfleet going one-on-one, and Norfleet with a steal. He goes one-on-one with Jaby, and Brandon Norfleet with the layup, 4-2 IUP.
Norfleet, great job getting the steal from Jaby and taking it to the house to give the Crimson Hawks their first lead of the game.
Outstanding speed we just saw there from Norfleet as Cook inside to Calvin Brown. Brown over to Marks. Marks is going to drive, but instead he's going to kick it out to Brown. Brown over to Jaby. Jaby, 12 to shoot. Jaby gets past Norfleet. Deep jumper. That shot is no good, and the rebound is controlled by Sean Dyer, the transfer after 3 years at West Liberty. Norfleet from downtown, bang. So just like that, it's 7-2 IUP, and Norfleet's three-point range, something I don't think a lot of people expected.
Norfleet already has 5 points so far in this game. California's going to have to find a way to neutralize him.
And we've seen throughout the year, easier said than done. Shot is no good, and IUP with a rebound. Norfleet will control it. And Norfleet this season 40% from beyond the arc, so ball's tipped out of bounds, but it's going to be going to be California ball as Devontae Chance, the Crimson Hawks leading scorer, not able to control it.
And California's got to take advantage of this. Now they're down by 5.
And you can't afford to be down by 5, even though it's early. It's still IUP. They're ranked number 20 for a reason as Calvin Brown kicks it out to JB. JB kicks it out now to Armin Marks. Marks is going to spin around, get through traffic, but he loses it. Here come the Crimson Hawks. Here's Sean Dyer. Dyer with a jumper, and that's good. Sean Dyer with his first basket of the game. California will call timeout. 16:57 left, and Allison Sean Dyer, one of those key players on the West Liberty drive to the national title game last year.
He really was, and here are some highlights here. Nice play down low by IUP for 2 of their points. IUP already has 4 points off of 2 California turnovers, and I'm sure we'll see that here as the North Fleet steal was one of them right here. Cannot afford to do that as Jabby just lost control. Tried to get back. North Fleet did a great job of getting back and putting in the bucket though. 9-2 the lead, just under 17 minutes to play in this first half.
And if you're Bill Brown, you certainly hope this is not shades of last year's game here at the Convocation Center. Nonetheless, we are back to live action as JB will now take his time getting over half court, being closely guarded by Chance. Here's Drew Cook. The defense nearly deflected and stolen away by Dyer. Here's a 3-ball by JB, and that is no good. Rebound by Jeremy Jeffers, and we're talking about the 3-point threat, Allison. Without Jakubek in the lineup, that's going to be costly for California.
Yeah, Jabby is going to have to step up into that role a little bit more.
And we have a foul. Looks like it's going to be on Armin Marks. That'll be his first, California's first team foul.
Number 15, Armin Marks, his first team.
California cannot get into foul trouble. They've been doing pretty good so far. Only one foul for IUP as well.
And we want to welcome everybody watching us live on America 1. And that ball is stolen by Richard Smith. 4-on-2 for the Vulcans, and it's deflected off a Chance. It'll remain California ball. 16-14 left in the first half. 31 to shoot as we're going to see Cornell Yard enter the game. He's a he's a junior out of Leesport near Reading. And the ball is stolen by Chance. Dyer reins in the pass, but he can't control it. Out of bounds possession. California, that is the 3rd Crimson Hawk turnover this game.
Both teams turning the ball over quite a bit. Neither coach can probably be too happy with that one. IUP has capitalized more, though, off of those turnovers.
They have 4 points off of those turnovers, as you alluded to, Allison. California yet to score off a turnover. In fact, other than Richard Smith's layup, California hasn't had much offense to speak of just yet, but the game is still early. Under 16 minutes left. Now see Darrell is sapped now in the game for California, along with Richardson. Here's Cook. He tries to drive, but instead has to kick it out to Smith. Now Smith drives. That pass intended for Richardson, sailing a little wide, out of bounds. And California turnover. We have a timeout on the court with 15:43 left. Your score, IUP 9, California 2.
And California's done a good job the last couple of minutes limiting the chances, but just have to watch the turnovers. We're going to take a look at some replays here. As you see the shot down low once again. IUP doing great down low.
Daddy Ubuede.
Here you see Jabby with the turnover to Northfleet. Northfleet down, drives the lane, backs up Jabby even more, is able to get 2 of his 4 points right there. You're going to see another chance here for the Crimson Hawks. As it's Northfleet, has 5 points. One of his shots was a 3.
Impressive range for the junior from Virginia Beach as we take a look at leading scores. Richard Smith, leading scorer, rebounder, has the most steals on the team in minutes. You get to see Jabby, the one dishing out the ball the most, leading in assists.
Yeah, now you take a look at IUP's team leaders. Devontae Chance, we talked about him, the leading scorer. Cottrell rebounding, and then Chance once again with assists, steals, and minutes. He's a big player for the Crimson Hawks. They're going to need him to be big for the rest of the year.
And it's interesting to note, Allie, you got four Crimson Hawk players averaging double figures that we've seen in years past. There's always been one dominant player, but it's a little more balanced for the Crimson Hawks this year as we are back to live action. Northfleet, I'm sorry, that was Dyer thought about driving, and instead that's Chance. Ubuede's shot is no good, right into the hands of Tony Richardson, and here come the Vulcans. JB gets it over the half-court line. Here's JB, drives the lane, and it gets called for a travel. A little out of control there by Khalil JB.
Jabby once again with another turnover as Nick Miller's going to check in at the next whistle.
And Miller, the freshman out of Western Beaver, was a leading scorer in the WPIAL last season as the pass now controlled by Dyer over to Chance, excuse me. And there's going to be a foul on Richardson. I can take that back. Sapp, excuse me. That's his first, team second. So Daddy Ubede will go to the line for two.
You see here Chance getting it inside to Ubede. Draws the foul, and he'll go to the line for two shots.
A 78.8% foul shooter. Daddy sinks the first. He is from the Bay Area of San Francisco. But a couple years at Drake before transferring into the Crimson Hawks program. It is now a 10-2 IUP lead. And Daddy splits the foul shots. Rebound by California. That was Richardson with the board as the Vulcans set the offense with 14:39 left. Trailing IUP 10-2. Richardson kicks it out. Sapp, three ball, no good. Rebound is controlled by Ubede. Ubede, excuse me. Well, I will get it right at some point this game. My sincere apologies. Pass goes Northfleet now. There's a three ball by Jeffers, and it is good. IUP leading 13-2.
Yeah, IUP just dominating the Vulcans right now. They're not able to get anything going offensively as California.
And there's a foul right before the pass, it looks like. And that's going to be on Ubede. That'll be his first. Second team foul for the Crimson Hawks as Daddy will take a breather. And that is Devon Cottrell, a junior from Monroeville now in the game for IUP. Vulcans trailing by 11, 6 minutes into the game as Drew Cook will now dish it out to Richardson, now back out to Cook. Cook will drive, and it is swatted by Northfleet, but Cook able to control it. Here's Miller. Over to Smith. Smith's going to drive the lane, spin around, and the shot is no good. He was able to get past Jeffers, but IUP with a rebound. Here come the Crimson Hawks. Here's Chance. Chance with the pass out to Jeffers. Jeffers goes inside. Now Jeffers will reset the offense. 13:20 left. And now Chance will reset. He'll drive. They'll dish it out to Jeffers. There's a three ball from Northfleet, and that's no good. Northfleet gets his own rebound, and that is good. Brandon Northfleet with another basket.
Good effort by Northfleet there to get his own rebound.
Yeah, well, a lot of respect for players like that who hustle. Northfleet's shown a lot of hustle so far. Here's a three ball from Cook. That shot is no good, and a rebound by Cornell Yard, and not a lot of Vulcans going after those missed shots. There's a three ball by Jeffers. That's no good. Richardson with a rebound. And here come the Vulcans. We have a whistle. And now we're going to have substitutions for both teams. We'll reset the lineups in a moment.
Jabby's going to check in for Drew Cook for California. Ubedeo's also going to check in for the Crimson Hawks.
Yeah, Cottrell heads to the bench. Looks like we're going to see Armin Marks back in the game momentarily. There's a 3-ball from Dyer, and that is good. 18-2, IUP leading. California calls timeout.
California's got to get something going right now with the score with 12:30 left to play in the first half. 18-2. That's not good if you're California. You need to find a way to put some points on the board and stop the Crimson Hawks from scoring.
We see Sean Dyer, we mentioned earlier, part of those outstanding West Liberty teams for the last 3 years. Got his undergraduate degree from West Lib and transferred into IUP, and there you see a lot of Crimson Hawk highlights. Here's Dyer's 3-ball just moments ago. Now California looking to try and mitigate the damage. There you see Joe Lombardi. We mentioned the native of Sharon, Pennsylvania, went to Youngstown State. Was an assistant at Pitt, LaSalle, and St. Bonaventure, and St. Francis before taking a head coaching job at IUP. We are back to live action as Miller. Marks now. There's a 3-ball from Miller, and that is no good. Rebound controlled by Tevin Hanner. He's a junior from Baltimore entering the game for the first time. There's Dyer. Passes it to no one in particular, goes out of bounds. Possession California. 12:01 left in the first half.
Smart play by Jabby just to let that go out of bounds instead of trying to control it.
So now California trying to stem this 18-2 run. As Marks now controls it over to Jabby. Jabby steps out of bounds. Possession IUP with 11:47 left. We have a timeout on the floor. Your score, IUP 18, California 2. This is California Vulcans men's basketball on CUtV Sports.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center. IUP leading California 18-2. The Vulcans 1 for 8 from the field. IUP 7 for 12 from the field so far in this first half. Worth noting, when these two teams last met, when it got to the under 12 media timeout, IUP last season here at the Convocation Center had a 17-7 lead. So it's been a more disappointing start here for California first half as we're back to live action. Jabby nearly had a steal, but Devontae Chance able to recover it, and Chance called for a travel. So that is the 5th turnover for the Crimson Hawks so far.
Yeah, and the Crimson Hawks have turned the ball over quite a few times. California has to take advantage of it, though.
California yet to score off the turnovers. The only point so far was by Richard Smith. That was almost 40 seconds into this game. It's been, in fact, those were the first points of the game. Now we see Calvin Brown back in the game. Miller over to Jabby. 13 to shoot. Richard Smith now. There's Armin Marks, drives the lane. Jumper from the foul line. That shot is no good. The rebound is controlled by Norfleet. There's Chance now. Chance with a shot, no good. He will go to the line for 2. The foul is going to be on Khalil Jabby. That is his first, team's third.
Right now you see here Chance just driving inside Jabby, trying to stay with him, not able to, has to take a foul, and IUP just pretty much dominating this game at this point.
And Devontae Chance hits the first. That's his first points of the game. Senior out of Philadelphia. The Crimson Hawks leading scorer, 14.5 points a game, as Ubede is going to take a seat. It is 19-2 IUP. Make that 20.
California's got to find a way to put some points on the board. They're trying to use some different players right now. They just need somebody to step up and score.
And there's swatted out of bounds by Devontae Chance. Vulcans will retain possession with 10:40 left in the first half. And for those of you scoring at home, that's a turnover. So California, Vulcans scored the first basket of the game, but it's been 20 straight points by the Crimson Hawks. That is the 8th turnover on the day for California, as Chance gets around the defenders. He will kick it out to, that was Dyer, now over to Norfleet. Norfleet's going to drive, but instead he'll swing it out. That's a 3-ball by Dyer, air ball, rebound by Sapp, excuse me. So now Jabby. Midway through the first half, it is 20-2. IUP just running circles over the Vulcans as Richard Smith's air ball is controlled by IUP. Here come the Crimson Hawks. 3-on-2. Chance from downtown. That is no good. Rebound is controlled by Jabby.
And right now, IUP has gone shooting a little bit cold. California will get possession here as Jabby went down hard into the boards. He is getting up slowly. California will get possession back, but IUP right now struggling to shoot just a little bit. California needs to take advantage of that.
California, meanwhile, 1 for 10 from the field so far in this game. .9:36 left in the first half. Calvin Brown with a jumper. That's good. Calvin Brown with the Vulcans' first points in nearly 10 minutes. 20-4 IUP. Here's Chance. And closely guarded. Now swings it over to Dyer. Tevin Hanner now in the game. He'll shoot no good, and the tip in by Jeremy Jeffers.
This IUP offense right now is just a well-oiled machine. Their passing is crisp, their shooting is good, and they're getting to the rebounds.
And we have a foul away from the basket. That's going to be on Tevin Hanner. That'll be his first. Third foul for the Crimson Hawks, as we're going to see Tony Richardson re-enter the game. Richard Smith is going to take a break. So now it'll be, to reset the lineup quickly for California, it is Cook, Jabby, Brown, Richardson, and Sapp. Here's Brown. Sapp now inside the Richardson. Richardson jumper. That's no good. Rebound by Ubede. And here come the Crimson Hawks rather quickly. Here's Norfleet baseline. Layup is good. 9 points now for Brandon Norfleet. It is 24-4.
Norfleet already having a very strong game against California.
He's had a very strong past few games as Cook trips, falls out of bounds, and turns the ball over. Number 9 for California.
And California needs to stop turning the ball over, especially whenever you're down by 20. You can't give them extra possessions.
It's been a very rough start for the California Vulcans, to say the very least, as Chance over to Norfleet. Norfleet called for a travel. With 7:58 left, we have a timeout on the score with IUP leading California 24-4.
We're going to take a look at. Did you see IUP there? You see Northfleet there. He's played very well. He already has 9 points. Devontae Chance with 2. Jeffers already with 5. Dyer with 5, as we talked about. We're going to take a look at some of the replays. So you take a look here, like we talked about, Northfleet having a very strong game. That one was Jeffers putting it back in. Northfleet, there you go, driving the lane, going inside, putting up 2 of his 9 points right there.
A very impressive move by Northfleet, to say the very least, Allie. Now you see the PSAC standings. Now, we did have a couple games in the PSAC West already completed right before we started. Seton Hill defeating Clarion. The Vulcans will face the Griffins 1 week from today. And Mercyhurst, a 65-58 winner over Slippery Rock. So Mercyhurst jumping ahead of Slippery Rock in the standings now. These standings reflect games entering today. So it looks like we're going to have a tight race on top of the PSAC West. In California, if they want to have a chance at being among that top 4, they need to just, it's really hard to explain. They're 2 for 12 from the field. They have 9 turnovers. They need to settle down. I mean, it's a lot of time left, but still. And now we have Daniel Sapp now. It's Cook. Cook with a jumper. That's good. So right out of the timeout, Drew Cook with his first basket. It's now 24-6 in favor of IUP.
And California just needs to string some shots together. They're not going to get all of it back in a couple of shots. Or they're going to get back in a couple of shots, but they need to make sure that it's one right after the other, get some momentum building.
Like you saw in our women's game earlier, Cal women were down by 16. The shot by Chance is no good. Rebound controlled by California. Javi with a jumper for the foul line. That is good. So back-to-back baskets by the Vulcans. This might be that run you were alluding to there, Allison.
That's what you need right now. Northfleet is off the court. So California needs to take advantage of that as well.
This is a big opportunity now open for the Vulcans, as it's down to a 16-point lead. Here is a baseline or an offensive foul called on Ubede. That'll be his second.
Once again, California, take advantage of this. If you turn the ball over, if IUP turns the ball over, you need to put points on the board.
That is the 7th IUP turnover this game. So Javi over to Drew Cook now. 6:37 left in the first half. Calvin Brown now controlling. He'll drive the lane. The shot hits the side of the rim. It's controlled by Sapp. Vulcans get a fresh shot clock. Now Brown over to Cook. Kicks it out to Sapp in the corner. Sapp inside now to Richardson. Richardson sends it out to Brown. A lot of ball movement. Jumper by Brown is no good, and the rebound is controlled by Cornell Yard, but there's going to be a player control foul on Daniel Sapp.
That is going to be a foul on Sapp. That will be his second, team 4th for California.
And now we're going to see Josh Dombrowski enter the game at the next stoppage as Devontae Chance gets it over the timeline. 6 minutes left to play in the first half. And there's a deep 3 from Jeffers. That is good. So California tried to get a little momentum going, but Jeremy Jeffers with his second free of the game. Here's Cook now. Richardson over to Sapp. Sapp with a jumper. That shot is no good. Rebound controlled by Jeffers, and Brown very close to getting called for a over the back, but nonetheless, Vulcans trying to with a steal. Richardson controls it. Here, California comes the other way now.
Good defense by Richardson there to get control for California.
Here's Cook, controlling, kicks it out. Now to Sapp. Cook, 3-ball, bang. California needed that one. That's 5 points now for the sophomore out of Beaver Falls. It's 27-11.
California slowly chipping away at this lead. They just need to limit the threes that IUP takes.
It's a lot easier said than done. Crimson Hawks are 39% from the field. The shot by Jeffers is no good, and here come the Vulcans the other way with 4:42 left in the first half. Here's another 3-ball by Cook. That is good. Drew Cook is on fire. 8 points now, including back-to-back threes.
That's a big three for California. Once again, as you said, 8 points for Drew Cook to cut down the lead to 13.
Considering it was a 20-point lead, there's a lot of basketball left to be played. So here's Jeffers, drives the baseline, kicks it out instead to Dyer for 3. That shot is no good. And a rebound controlled by the Crimson Hawks. Chancellor to long 2. That's no good. And a rebound controlled by California. But Drew Cook lets it slip out of bounds. So with 3:57 left, timeout on the court, your score, IUP 27, California 14. This is Vulcans men's basketball on CUtV Sports.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center. California starting to chip away at that IUP lead. It is now IUP 27, California 14. It's take a kid to the game day here at the Convocation Center. So a nice little contest during the last stoppage. You see the stat ranking there. IUP scoring defense, the best in the conference. We are back to live action as Hanner out now to Dyer. Brandon Norfleet now back in the game. He has 9 points to lead the Crimson Hawks as Chance tries, he travels. So a big turnover by IUP rather, and the Vulcans look to capitalize. They only have as the 8th Crimson Hawk turnover today.
Yeah, and California needs to capitalize off this. You want to try to make it maybe a 10-point or less game going into the half.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Allie, as we have a foul. That'll be on Tevin Hanner, his second. So IUP with one more foul to give before they put California in the bonus. That is their 15th foul. Javi will inbound, and he has to call timeout. And California now down to 2 timeouts. Remember, during IUP's opening run, about 3 minutes in, they had to call a timeout, and then, about 12:30 left, they had to call their second timeout.
Yeah, California just having to call timeout there. You want to try to get something off of this possession because it's a big play whenever you get the shot clock reset, whenever you're already pinned in the offensive zone. You want to try to get something off, but you definitely don't want to have to call timeout. In that case, they have to reset the offense here and try to get something on the board.
And the Crimson Hawks, we mentioned, they've only allowed 60 points per game. That is the lowest in the conference. This is an IUP team that could very well be undefeated. They had a couple of losses to Gannon and Mercyhurst earlier this season. We're back to live action as the ball is inbounded. Now Jabby will control it. He'll step back. Over to Cook now. Cook. Smith. Kicks out to Marks. Marks finds Jabby. Jabby will drive the lane. The shot a little off balance. No good. Rebound by Devontae Chance. So California cannot capitalize on the turnover once again. And now here come the Crimson Hawks as Chance will reset the offense. 3 minutes remain in the first half. Here's Norfleet now over to Hanner. Chance goes inside, tried the alley-oop dunk. Did not work, and here comes Marks the other way. Dombrowski over to Cook, now over to Jabby. Jabby will drive the jumper, no good, and the ball goes out of bounds off of Dyer. So California will get the ball back, 2:34 left in the first half. I honestly thought it might have deflected off Richard Smith, but nonetheless, the refs are right there.
Yeah, this is a big break for California. They have to try to get something going here as Miller and Richardson are going to check into the game for California.
It'll be Drew Cook, Marks, and Richard Smith along with Richardson, and Richardson will call for the offensive foul. A good job by Devon Cottrell to draw the charge.
And California turns the ball right back over to IUP. You saw on the replay there the foul against Richardson.
Could not have come at a worse time for the Vulcans. Meanwhile, for what it's worth, the Crimson Hawks have not scored in the last 3.5 minutes. So the defense has been there. It's just the offense not able to chip away further with 2:13 left. Here's Chance. Norfleet. Now Norfleet's going to drive, kicks it out to Cottrell. Cottrell has the ball stolen, but Norfleet right into his hands, 6 to shoot. And Brandon Norfleet with 11 points now as the Crimson Hawks lead back to 15.
Another good basket there for Norfleet. He now has 11 points today.
Here's Marks. And the ball is stolen, but they're saying Norfleet kicked it, so the Vulcans will keep possession.
California will keep possession. 1:43 left to go in this first half, down by 15 points.
And this is a big possession. If you're able to get a 3 ball here, that'll cut the lead down to 12. So now it'll be Marks. Over to Richardson. Richardson, 10 seconds to shoot, 1:30 left in the half. Here's Miller. Richardson nearly loses it, but holds on. 5 to shoot. California needs to hurry. Miller dekes out the defender. That's a 3 ball. The shot is no good. Gets it off right before the shot clock expires, but Norfleet with a big rebound. And Chance flies down the court. Kicks it out to Jeffers for 3. That shot is no good. Rebound controlled by Richard Smith. And here come the Vulcans heading the other way. Here's Cook. Drives the lane. Draws the foul with 1:02 left.
Drew Cook going to go to the line here. This is the first time California will go to the line today. As you'll see here on the replay, good job by Cook to drive inside. Can't get the basket to fall, but does draw the foul.
Drew Cook, a 70% foul shooter on the season. Hits the first. He now has 9 to lead the Vulcans. He's a sophomore out of Beaver Falls. See, Armin Marks now exits the game. Daniel Sapp re-enters. And Cook gets the members bounce. It is now a 13-point California lead. IUP lead, excuse me. So now here's Dyer. He'll set the offense. Over to Chance. And there's going to be a foul. It looks like it's going to be on Tony Richardson. That is his second. Team foul number 6. So the next foul by California will put IUP in the bonus. 49 seconds left As Calvin Brown re-enters the game, Tony Richardson will take a seat with his 2 fouls. It'll be Cottrell inbounding to Jeffers. Jeffers has a 3 ball by Sean Dyer, and that is good. Sean Dyer bringing his shooting touch in from West Liberty. That's his 8th point of the game. And the Vulcans now back down by 16, 32-16. Cook just gets it over the timeline. There's a 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. There's Smith. Cook thought about a 3, but instead he'll drive. Draws a double team, no foul, and the ball goes out of bounds. So California turns it over with 11.8 seconds left. And on first glance, it looked like it could have been a foul. However, both IUP players all ball, so that looked like a good no call in my opinion.
Yeah, Drew Cook trying to do everything right now. He has 10 of the 16 points for the Vulcans, was trying to drive to the lane there and draw some contact, not able to.
A chance. And now there's the jumper at the buzzer, and it will count by Jeremy Jeffers. So IUP is going to go into the locker room with an 18-point lead, and we're going to step away as the officials will review this play, it looks like. So we'll take a timeout. Your score at halftime, 34-16.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And welcome back to the Convocation Center. California trailing number 20, Indiana of Pennsylvania, 32-16 at halftime. We'll take a look now at the halftime stats. And Allison, it's been all IUP.
It has been all IUP, and as you take a look at the stats, the big one is 3-point range, 15 points from beyond the arc for the Crimson Hawks. They are 5 for 11. California just 2 for 7. Free throws, California took advantage of it the one time they did get to the line, hitting both free throws. Rebounds, it's all IUP. Turnovers, 12 turnovers is too many for California against a good IUP team. Whenever you play a team that is ranked, especially whenever you're not, you cannot turn the ball over 12 times in the first half.
Certainly concur with that, Allison, as we take a look at some of the highlights from the first half.
Take a look here. California started out strong, but then it was all IUP after that as they rattled off 20 straight points, including that 3 by Norfleet. Here's another 3 for the Crimson Hawks. That one by Jeffers. California trying to get back into the game here with a big 2. But then another 3-ball by the Crimson Hawks just to continue pulling away. Drew Cook has been good for California, already 10 points in the first half. Here you see a couple more of his points. But this Crimson Hawks team has just been too strong, as the 2 points that we thought they got at the end of the half, the officials overturned. They looked at the replay, saw that the clock had already expired, so the score is 32-16 instead of 34-16, as it was whenever we left.
Yes, and that is a huge break for California. The ball was still in the player's hands before the for the end of the half, but nonetheless, we are back to live action. Second half action underway as Javi drives, kicks it out to Richard Smith. Richard Smith with a layup. That's good. So Richard Smith with his 4th point of the game. It's now a 14-point lead.
And California just has to keep chipping away. Ideally, by the 12-minute mark, you would like to get down to single-digit points deficit.
Absolutely. Here's Norfleet. He has 11 points lead all scorers. Chance now controlling, and the ball is tipped, but as Jeffers able to control it, and now Chance will reset the offense. 8 to shoot. Chance, 3-ball, bang. Devontae Chance, his first 3 of the game. He now has 5 points, and the Crimson Hawks up by 17.
And that's what they've been doing. Every time California hits a shot, they've been going right back down and hitting another shot to keep the deficit.
There's Richardson will drive the lane. He's going to get called for the offensive foul. That is Richardson's 3rd of the game.
California can't start getting into foul trouble. You don't want to give IUP trips to the line and give them free points.
We once again welcome everybody watching us on America 1. As we're back to live action, it's Jeffers. And the ball over to Daddy with the shot, no good. Rebound controlled by Daniel Sapp. There's Sapp. Going to be a foul called on IUP. And it's going to be on Jeffers. That's his first.
It's going to be 2 shots here for Sapp, and California has to take advantage of this, get these 2 points, make it a 15-point lead for IUP.
Sapp, a freshman out of Streetsboro, Ohio. Excelled not only in basketball, but in track at Streetsboro High last year. Makes the first one, his first point of the game. Interesting to note, Allison, around the PSAC East especially, they've had a lot of close games today. A couple of 2-point games, 3-point game, 4-point game, and Sapp will hit them both. So now it's back to a 15-point IUP lead with a minute and a half into the second half. Norfleet now over to Chance, Chance, behind the back pass to Jeffers. Jeffers cross-court pass over to Norfleet. Norfleet runs the baseline, kicks it out to Jeffers. 3-ball, bang. So you were alluding to, Allison, California tries to start something, but IUP always has an answer.
IUP has been hot from beyond the arc, and they're in the first half they're continuing that in the second.
And it's certainly tough to defend. We have so many weapons for this Crimson Hawks team as Smith now controls it, kicks it out to Sapp. Sapp inside now to Richardson. Richardson back out to Sapp. Sapp with a 3-ball, that's short. It's in front of the rim, and Chance with a rebound. Chance kicks out, Norfleet, 3-ball, bang! 3rd trifecta of the half for the Crimson Hawks. It is now a 21-point IUP lead.
4 different players have now hit shots from beyond the arc for this Crimson Hawks team.
And Norfleet now with 14. And there's a turnover by Dyer. Chance able to control it, kicks it back out to Norfleet. He's got the hot hand. He passed intended for Ubede, So, but it's a turnover for California. For IUP rather.
And California has to take advantage of this. You want to put points on the board. IUP hasn't been turning the ball over a lot. You need to take advantage of it whenever they do.
We saw Devon Cottrell re-enter the game as Daddy takes a breather. Cook is going to control it. He'll try to drive lane, but instead kicks it out to Miller. Miller. Back to Cook. Here's a 3 by Cook, and that's good. Drew Cook with his 3rd 3-ball of the game. It's now an 18-point IUP lead.
Drew Cook has 13 points already in this game. No other Vulcan has more than 4.
And there's a steal by Nick Miller. Miller going coast to coast, beats Devontae Chance, and now it's a 5-0 California run. Miller's first points of the game.
Once again, just trying to chip away at this lead.
A lead that was 21, now down to 16. 16:15 left in regulation. Here's Devontae Chance. Drives, swatted away by Richard Smith out of bounds. An impressive block by the junior from Cleveland.
17 seconds on the shot clock for the Crimson Hawks.
And Devontae Chance barely gets it in before the 5 seconds. Here's Cottrell going one-on-one with Smith. Norfleet, is going to reset the offense. 7 to shoot. Here's Norfleet, loses control of the ball. 4 to shoot. Here's Devontae Chance, 2 seconds. And the shot is no good. Rebound by Devon Cottrell. And now the Crimson Hawks will reset. Dyer over to Norfleet. 3 ball by Norfleet. That's good. Brandon Norfleet is just on fire today. That is 17 points. And once again, Allison, a 3-ball stifling a California run.
Norfleet has both of his wrists taped up, but it does not seem to be affecting him as he has really found his rhythm in this game.
There's a deep 3 by Nick Miller. That shot is no good. Rebound by Devontae Chance. And here come the Crimson Hawks heading the other way. There's the pass swatted away by Cook, and now Sapp controls it. Drives the lane. The layup is good. 4 points now for Daniel Sapp.
Good read by Sapp to realize he had a lane and just drive inside.
So now 15 minutes left in regulation. It's a 17-point IUP lead. Devontae Chance now controlling it for the Crimson Hawks. Chance drives the lane, instead dishes it off to Cottrell. The shot is no good. Rebound controlled by Tony Richardson. Here's Cook. Kicks it out now to Richardson. Now Cook will again control it. Here's Sapp to Nick Miller. Now Cook. Kicks it back out to Miller. Sean Dyer going one-on-one with Miller as Miller drives the lane. The shot, no good. Rebound controlled by Jeffers. And here is Chance. A deep 3. That is good. And IUP just raining threes from all over the valley tonight.
When you see a play like that where IUP feels comfortable enough that they're just going to pull up and take the 3 instead of setting something up and driving the lane, you know they're feeling it in a building.
They are 5 for 6 from downtown in the second half. All of their baskets in this half have come from beyond the arc. And a ball pass intended for Sapp goes out of bounds. So with 13:47 left, we have a timeout. Of course, your score, IUP 47, California 27.
You take a look now at some highlights of this second half. California started off the second half strong. As you see there, Richard Smith getting the bucket for California. Devontae Chance getting one of his 2 threes there. Here, going to see one by Norfleet. He's going to drive inside, then he's going to decide to kick it out. A 3 by Jeffers to try and extend this lead out further. Here, you're going to see yet another 3, that one by Norfleet. California trying to stick with it. Drew Cook for 3 on that play. Drew Cook has been very strong today, 13 points. Nick Miller with 2 of his 4 points on the day right there. Or excuse me, his 2 points. Norfleet, another 3. And here, Sappy just saw a lane, drives inside and puts it up. Here, Chance pulls up for 3, has confidence in that shot right now, and that's why they lead by 20.
And out of here, you check out it is Take a Kid to the Game Day here at the Convocation Center. And if you want to check out this game or any one of our other sports broadcasts, check out our YouTube channel, CUtV Sports 1. And you can hear in the background the Carmichael's Area High School Pep Band in the house today. It's always fun when you have a band here at the Convocation Center. As we are back to live action, as Nick Miller closely guarding Devontae Chance, and Joe Lombardi is going to call a timeout. 13:37 left. We are going to keep it here, Allison, and we were alluding to those scores in the PSAC East. We got Lockhaven defeating Kutztown 198 in overtime. Millersville defeating Cheney 70-68 in overtime. Shippensburg over Mansfield 75-71. And Bloomsburg over Westchester 74-71. So a lot of close games in the PSAC East. And there's the Mighty Mike's Pep Band.
Yeah, they've been here all day for both games.
And if you like us on Facebook. That's another good way you can find out the inside scoop on your favorite CUtV programming. We're still on winter break here. We have a couple of alumni helping us out today. Tyler Harris and John Couture helping out on camera. We see Will Moore, who's better looking than Will Smith, I might add, is running camera here at the Convocation Center. He's here today. You see him right underneath the basket there. So we have Kat Leberfinger and Courtney Salmon with us on crew as well, and J.R. Wheeler is also helping out in the truck today. It's great to have a lot of current and past members of our CUtV family here today as we are back to live action. 13:35 left in regulation. California down by 20, and looks like a foul away from the ball. I believe that is going to be on Sean Dyer.
Yeah, it is going to be a foul away from the ball. You're right, it is on Dyer. So California gets possession here. 13:30 left to play in the second half.
And that's Dyer's first foul of the game. So California they need to take advantage here. You've alluded to that quite a few times today, Allison, as Brown's shot is blocked by Tevin Hanner. And scrum for the ball. Daddy scoops up the ball, fires it down to Norfleet. Norfleet trying to double team, and the foul on Calvin Brown, his first, team second.
Norfleet has been so strong today. That pass he made to Ubede right before he got it back on the give and go, trying to create separation. He's not able to, but he does draw the foul.
So both teams now with 2 fouls. Chance will now control it, dishes it off to Hanner. Chance now controlling it. And it'll be a foul on Nick Miller. That'll be his first, third for the Vulcans.
Miller right now is in charge of covering Devontae Chance, and I've seen them talking a couple times after whistles.
So as competitive juices, it looks like it's starting to come out from both players, as we're going to see Cornell Yard enter the game as Sean Dyer will take a break. Dyer with 8 points on the day. And Yard will in fact inbound to Chance. Now over to Norfleet on the far side. Chance swings it around. There's a 3-ball from Yard, and that's no good. It's in front of the rim, and the rebound is a scrum for the ball, and it'll be jump ball possession IUP.
So IUP will keep possession. They have a full shot clock to work with. 12:40 left to play here in the second half, and a 20-point lead for the Crimson Hawks.
It's also worth noting, Allison, California down to 2 timeouts. So if it gets a little closer, that's something to keep an eye on. And I believe IUP now down to 3 timeouts. By NCAA rule, if you don't call a timeout in the first half, you lose a timeout going over into the second half. So IUP started the second half with 4 timeouts as Norfleet tried to run the baseline, but instead he draws the foul. And it'll be on Calvin Brown, his second. So a couple of former Cheney players renewing acquaintances in a way. As the Crimson Hawks will inbound, it'll be Devontae Chance doing the honors. Sends it out to Cornell Yard. Now over to Norfleet. Norfleet will drive, takes a deep 2, and that shot is no good. Rebound controlled by Nick Miller. It's only the second shot Norfleet has missed today. There's a shot by Armin Marks, is no good, but he will go to the line for 2 after the foul.
Number 44, Daddy Ubede, his third.
Ubede takes his third foul, team third as well. So as you said, Marks will go to the line.
Armin Marks, a senior out of Louisville. Second year with the Vulcans program after he transferred in from James Madison Marks misses the first, and now Richardson will re-enter the game as Richard Smith will take a breather. We haven't called Armin Marks' name a lot today. He's usually the dependable sixth man, but today we haven't seen a lot of him, actually, as Marks splits the foul shots to 19-point IUP lead. Marks is only 11 minutes so far for Armin Marks as Chance over to Yard. Yard cross-court pass to Norfleet. Norfleet three ball, bang.
Norfleet has been on fire today. 20 points now for the transfer.
That was a huge get indeed for Joe Lombardi's program. There's a pass over to Villa now. Now Brown controls it, and Javi kicks it over to Marks in the corner. Three ball, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Norfleet. Chance on the run, coast to coast. Layup is no good. Tip and attempt by Hanner is no good, but Chance with the offensive rebound.
Good effort there by the Crimson Hawks to get that rebound, and then Chance smartly brings it out and resets the offense.
Devontae Chance, a senior, just outstanding athlete we've seen here today, as here is Yard. Now Chance will step back and now reset. He'll drive. Going one with Richardson, and there's a three ball, no good. The ball is, there's going to be looks like an over the back foul on Ubede.
Foul number 44, Daddy Ubede, his fourth, team four.
I believe that is what the call is going to be.
And that is his fourth. We have a timeout on the court with 10:54 left. Your score, IUP 50, California 28. This is Vulcans men's basketball on CUtV Sports.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to California Vulcans men's basketball on CUtV Sports. The Crimson Hawks leading 50-28. Again, we welcome our audience watching live on America One. And we had a late women's game tipping off at 5:30 tonight. Gannon leading Edinburgh 41-25. So that's a bit of a surprise right there. Edinburgh's women won all four meetings with Gannon last season. As we're back to live action, here's Brown. Spins around. That shot is no good, but there's going to be a foul. Looks like it's going to be on Norfleet. No, excuse me. It is going to be on Jeffers.
Foul number 11, Jeremy Jeffers, his second.
It will not be a shooting foul, so it must have been away from the ball, and that's Jeffers' second, team fifth.
The pass is now controlled by Richardson. Richardson will drive the lane, and the layup is good. So that's Tony Richardson's first 2 points of the game. Also worth noting, Cal's next opponent is Seton Hill. They defeated Clarion 79-57 early today in Greensburg. So that game will be next Saturday at the McKenna Center. Meanwhile, back here at the Convocation Center, there's a three ball by Dyer, and that is good. Sean Dyer with his third three ball of the game. He's quietly been having a solid performance for the Crimson Hawks.
IUP is now 12 for 20 from beyond the arc.
My goodness, that is impressive. Here's Javi with a three ball of his own, and that is good. No, they're going to call it a two. So that's 4 points now for Javi. It's a 19-point California IUP lead, 21 points. My Math is failing me, folks. My apologies. Nonetheless, Norfleet, he'll run the baseline, kicks it out to Yard. Now over to Jeffers for three. That is no good, and the rebound tipped out of bounds. It's controlled by Jeffers. There's a three ball from Dyer, and that's no good. Yard with a rebound, and there's going to be a foul. Looks like it's going to be on Calvin Brown. We'll wait for the official call. No, excuse me, it will be on Richardson. They were both in the area.
That's his fourth foul, team fifth.
And that's a big foul, Allie.
It is, as Yard is going to go to the line.
So Yard, the sophomore from Leesport, hits the first one. And we're going to see Josh Dombrowski enter the game. Richardson will take a seat, as will Calvin Brown. Again, Dombrowski and Smith are in the game. And now we're also seeing Jason Kapko in the game as
Smith checked in as well.
Smith, yes. So Yard hits both foul shots. And it is 9 minutes left to play in this game. IUP leading by 23. Dombrowski over to Jabby. Jabby's going to drive. Inside to Richardson. It is rejected. Here's Dyer going coast to coast. Shot is no good, and the rebound is controlled by Daniel Sapp. So here is Sapp with the shot. Another rejection. Excuse me, that was Richard Smith on the shot. But nonetheless, IUP really just all over the place. That was Devin Cottrell on both blocks. Shot by Norfleet is no good. Sapp with a rebound. Here comes Jabby heading the other way. Jabby with a long two. The shot is no good. Rebound is controlled by Yard. Here's Dyer heading back the other way. Dyer, the shot is no good. He'll go to the line for two. Dyer certainly familiar with that running gun style offense as they've employed at West Liberty over the years.
And Sapp just had a couple of big plays. He's had 7 rebounds in this game. He's played 22 minutes, so a little bit of an elevated time for him as he's gotten a lot more minutes in this game than he's used to.
And Sapp is called for his third foul as Dyer hits the first. So now we're going to see Nick Miller and Drew Cook re-enter the game. Khalil Jabby and Jason Kapko will go to the bench. Dyer, a grad student, his senior year of eligibility, is from Marion, Ohio. A very dominant player on those West Liberty teams over the last 3 years, including a team that went to the national title game before they lost to Central Missouri. Dyer hits them both. So that is now 13 points. And the lead is now up to 25. Here's Dombrowski. Dombrowski over to Richard Smith. Now Smith will pass it to Miller. Miller inside. Richard Smith draws a foul. We'll see who it's on. Looks like it's on Dyer. That's his second, 15th foul. We have a timeout on the court with 7:42 left. IUP leading California 57-32.
We're going to take a look at some replays once again. Brandon Norfleet, he has been on fire this whole game. You see one of his threes there. Here you see California Richardson that time driving the lane, getting 2 points. See Dyer here, step back three. Crimson Hawks, as I said, have been incredible from beyond the arc. California's trying to match it. Jabby, a long two here is good. And just IUP has been incredible in this entire game. You see why they're ranked 20th in the country, and you look at the upcoming broadcast. As we said, CUtV will have your Vulcan basketball coverage at Seton Hill coming up a week from today. So on Saturday, and then they'll take on Gannon and Slippery Rock on Wednesday and Saturday.
It's a very formidable schedule ahead, Allie. After Seton Hill, they travel to the Hammermill Center. They take on the division-leading Golden Knights of Gannon. They play Edinburgh later tonight. Slippery Rock, as we mentioned, lost earlier today at Mercyhurst. So it's going to be a lot of movement in the PSAC West and also around the region. And they had a West Liberty, we were mentioning, one of the top teams in the Atlantic region. They defeated West Virginia Wesleyan 79-67 as Richard Smith hits the first foul shot. Starting to see a lot of good teams really show themselves around the region. And West Liberty, by the way, they'll have a big game at Glenville State. Smith hits a second. Glenville State narrowly beating Wheeling Jesuits in Wheeling 64-63. So Monday night's game at the Waco Center in Glenville is going to be a big one as we're back to live action. Here is the and one hoop and harm by Tevin Hanner. His first 2 points of the game. Nick Miller, I believe, will be called for the foul. That will be his second.
It will be Miller, and California was going to kind of a full court press there. Miller trying to get back defensively, could not get his feet set.
So now Tevin Hanner, junior out of Baltimore, played a couple years at McLennan Community College. And it's a lane violation by California. So Hanner, a 78% foul shooter, well, I'll get to go again. He'll try to convert the old school three. IAP now in the bonus. And he converts. Lead to 26 now for IUP.
7:30 left to play here, and California's going to have to string together quite a few shots.
There's Cook now. Over to Nick Miller, now back to Cook. Cook drives, but instead kicks it out. It's Dombrowski. Cook, he'll drive, and one. Drew Cook drawing the hoop and the harm.
Drew Cook has really impressed me in this game. 15 points now for the sophomore. He's played 25 minutes. Shot very well, as you see his bucket there.
The foul is on Devontae Chance, his second, and Drew Cook completes the old school three. He now has 16. Both teams now in the bonus with 7:05 left in regulation. Here's Yard. And the shot blocked by Dombrowski, but Dombrowski steps out of bounds. It'll remain IUP ball. 6:56 left, 25 to shoot.
Good block by Dombrowski, just unable to stay in bounds.
It's been that kind of day for California. Here's a long two by Jeffers. That is no good. The rebound is controlled by Hanner. His shot's no good. Richard Smith with a rebound, almost cradling it Tim Duncan style. As Cook gets over the timeline, kicks it out to Miller. Miller stops, pops, jumper, no good. And a rebound is controlled by IUP. And it's stolen away by Cook. Here's Nick Miller with a three ball. That's no good. And the rebound is ultimately controlled by Dombrowski. He can't hold on to it. We're going to have a jump ball. Possession arrow favors California. Daddy Ubede about to re-enter, as is Brandon Norfleet.
That was good effort by Drew Cook to get in there and get the jump ball and continue to give California possession.
Here's Smith over to Dombrowski for the deep two. That shot is no good. Rebound is controlled by IUP. And here's Devontae Chance, cross court, Norfleet, three ball, corner pocket, no good. And we have a foul, player control foul away from the ball. And if that's on Daddy Ubede, that might be his fifth, I believe.
It was on Ubede, and it is his fifth, so he's going to come out. Hanner's going to check back into the game.
Joe Lombardi not looking too thrilled, but it's still been a dominating performance by the Vulcans, and since it is a 1-and-1 for Richard Smith. He has 6 points on the day today. Misses it. Rebound is controlled by Brandon Norfleet. 5:46 left to play. Norfleet with a game-high 20 points. It's now Chance. Travels. Possession, California.
Another turnover there for the Crimson Hawks with 5:39 left to play.
California seemingly out of this game, and we've seen crazier things happen, but with 5 minutes left, there's a jumper by Richard Smith. That's a 2. So lead's now down to 21.
California being much more aggressive defensively. IUP doing a good job passing out of it.
Dyer cross court over to Chance. There's a deep 3. That is no good. The rebound is controlled by Sapp. Gives it over to Cook. 5 minutes remain in this contest. Cook kicks it out to Dombrowski. Dombrowski over to Sapp. Now Miller. Here's Cook. Dombrowski with a 3. That's no good. Rebound by Dyer. Here's Chance with the alley-oop. And the layup by Tevin Hanner.
Hanner now with 5 points on the day in only 11 minutes.
Here's Miller. He'll kick it out now to Sapp, and now Cook will go for 3. In and out. Rebound controlled by Jeremy Jeffers. And here's Chance over the timeline. There's a deep 3 by Dyer. That is good. 4th 3 ball of the day for Sean Dyer, and it looks as though we have a timeout called by California with 4:03 left to play. IUP leading 65-39, and we're going to see Stefan Osborne, a freshman from Victoria, Australia, entered the game for the first time. So it looks like Joe Lombardi going deeper to his bench as we have this timeout.
Yeah, I mean, IUP has been very confident, as you just saw that last 3-pointer from beyond the arc. They've taken 24 shots from beyond the arc, and they've made 13 of them. That's 54%, just over 54%. That's an incredible shooting percentage.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's pretty much the same story as we saw last February here at the Convocation Center. IUP just controlling almost from start to finish. We are back to live action here at the Convocation Center. Nick Miller controlling. Over to Richard Smith. Now Cook. Out to Sapp. Brown. Cook. Cook will drive the lane, and there's a shot clock violation. We will have a timeout on the court with 3:31 left to play. Your score, California 65, IUP 65, California 39. You're watching Wilkins basketball on CUtV Sports.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center. California trailing by 26 to IUP. A couple other regional games of interest in the CIAA. A bit of an upset. Shaw defeating Bowie State 61-43. Lincoln over St. Augustine's 88-65. We are back to live action here as the ball is stolen by Devontae Chance. Chance with a jumper from the top of the key is good.
Another long shot there for IUP, that one a 2.
10 points now for Devontae Chance. And the Crimson Hawks. Here's Cook. Will give it to Smith. Smith rejected by Devin Hanner. Hanner, and Chance is going to get called for a travel. So 2:57 left. Also at the Mountain East Conference, couple scores. Charleston defeated Urbana 90-71. Notre Dame of Ohio defeating West Virginia State 92-83. We mentioned the West Liberty score, 79-67. We have a couple more substitutions.
I believe there was a foul on that play. It was a technical.
So IUP gets called for a technical foul. It's on Devontae Chance, and Daniel Sapp misses the first foul shot. So, I mean, Joe Lombardi has to be happy with the final result, but he can't be happy with his players drawing rather silly technicals as Sapp splits the foul shots. And we're to see Jason Kapko, the freshman out of Bell Vernon, re-enter the game. So now California has a week to regroup, and before their next their next game at Seton Hill over at the McKenna Center in Greensburg. We are back to live action here. Here's Sapp. Over to Calvin Brown, now over to Miller. Inside. The ball is stolen away by the Crimson Hawks. Here's Cottrell, excuse me, that is Norfleet. Hanner, now back over to Osborne. Over to Norfleet. Here's Osborne for 3. That shot is no good. A rebound by Calvin Brown. Cook. Long pass over to Sapp. Now Sapp kicks it out to Brown. Now over to Miller. 2 minutes remaining. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be IUP possession.
California's trying to get something going offensively right now, not really able to. As Leakum's going to check into the game for Jeffers.
Very solid performance by Jeremy Jeffers. Finishes with 11 points, 7 rebounds. As Kapko over to Miller. Miller kicks it out back to Kapko. Here's a 3-ball from Sapp, and that is no good. Rebound is controlled by Sean Dyer. Dyer now his 5th rebound. He has 16. Also see Nathan Lemke, another Australian freshman in the game. There's a deep 3 from Osborne. That shot is no good. Rebound by Daniel Sapp with 1:22 left to play. The layup by Sapp is no good. Brown with a rebound. That's no good. He gets his own ball and 1. So Calvin Brown, hoop and harm. Foul is on Nathan Lemke, his first. So Calvin Brown will try to complete the old school 3.
Good job by Brown to drive inside and draw the foul there. That all started with Sapp playing well defensively.
And the foul shot is good, so Daniel Sapp now Calvin Brown with 5 points on the game after the old school 3. Here's Norfleet. 1 minute remains in regulation. Lemke with a jumper, and that's good. Nathan Lemke with a basket. got a nice reaction from the IUP bench in the final minute of this contest, and the ball is scooped up by Lemke, and now here come the Crimson Hawks. Osborne rejected by Miller. 40.9 seconds left in this game.
Now, of all the players that have been on the court for IUP in this game, only Cottrell and Osborne have yet to get a point.
So there is about a 9-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, so IUP can't hold for the last shot, though it's very academic at this point. Here's Lemke. Lemke passes it to no one. So with 19.5 seconds left, California will get the inbound.
And for the Crimson Hawks, 4 players in double digits today. Norfleet, Dreyer, Jeffers, and Chance, all with 10 or more points.
Just an impressive, balanced scoring attack by a team a lot of people predicted would be the top team in the PSAC West. They had a couple of losses earlier in the year to Gannon and Mercyhurst, so Brown with a basket, and that'll do it. Your final score, IUP 69, California 45, so just one of those nights for California. Final thoughts, Allison?
California's going to have to rebound. So far, they're having a pretty good season. That still only puts them at 11-5. They have a good chance to make the playoffs. They just need to brush this one off, go to work this next week, and be prepared for Seton Hill.
They have just, to be fair, IUP has just dominated everybody they have faced. So now our next broadcast next Saturday at Seton Hill. For Allison Steinheiser and our entire CUtv crew, I'm Creighton Raps. Thank you for watching California Vulcans basketball on CUtv Sports.